Alright, well, hello everybody. So today we're going to talk about review packet on lesson 5.1 and 5.4. Well, first thing, thank you for watching that video. I think it's going to be very helpful. I'm going to talk about how to solve those problems on the review packet. So hopefully everybody will be ready to take the test tomorrow and do an awesome job. So the review packet has 3 learning targets. First one will be in slope-intercept form. Second learning target will be about point slope form. And third one is about standard form. So for all those learning targets, our job will be to write equations from the given information. So if you take a look of the first problem, it says write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line shown. Our job is to get the information that is given from the picture and write it down. So we know when we have a line, first thing you can write down from the line is the slope. And again, we're talking about slope-intercept form, so definitely we need to know what the slope is equal to and what b is equal to. So the slope between those 2 points will be rise over run. Now let's count how many blocks do we go up. So we'll be 2, 4, 6 blocks up, and then we run 3 blocks. This is going to be positive slope, so we rise 6 blocks and we run 3 blocks. 6 over 3 could be simplified to positive 2. So the slope here is just positive 2. What about y-intercept? Well, y-intercept is always the point in the graph where the line crosses y-axis. And the line crosses y-axis exactly at this point right here. So if we take a little bit close look, you will see that we have -3, -4, so that will be -5, which means my y-intercept is -5. Well, we have pretty much everything what we need, and now we are ready to finalize the problem. So the solution, official solution for that is y equals 2x, the slope is 2, then -5 for y-intercept. And we are done. First example is done. So anytime you need to pause the video, please do so. I'm gonna just keep going until I finish. That's why we have this video options, because you can rewatch and pause the video over and over again if you need to. So moving on to example number 2. It says write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the given points and has a given slope. So one thing is given for us here, and we know that is the slope. Awesome. But what we don't know is b. We're missing b here. So we gotta use some way in order to get b. And we know that y equals mx plus b is the best formula to use to get b. So what I'm gonna do, we have a point, the coordinates of this point are x and y. We're gonna substitute those coordinates down here into the equation. So y is 10 based on the y coordinate. Then we have m, which is 3 over 5 times x coordinate -5 plus b. Well, if you look at the equation, we know everything except b. So we're solving that equation for b. 10 equals 3/5 times -5 on your calculator will give you -3 plus b. Then my next step to get b itself will be to add 3 to each side. So -3 plus 3 cancel out. Sorry about that, that is just a little technology problem here. It's gonna pop up in a second. Alright, so 10 plus 3 is 13 equals b. We have b already, we know what m is. Now we are ready to complete the solution. And the solution will be y is equal to 3 over 5x plus 13. Final answer here. make sure you always write down the equation all the way to the end. If you just calculate the slope or you just find out what y-intercept is, this would not be enough. The main point of this learning target is to demonstrate your understanding of how to write the equation in the exact given form. Okay, number 3 now. Write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the given points. Well, we have the same slope-intercept equation, but we don't know what m is and we don't know what b is. So this is what we need to do first. We're going to start with m. And you guys remember the slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So using the formula we will calculate m, and that will be negative 5 minus negative 8 over 6 minus 4. Well, y coordinates will be negative 5 plus 8 here because those two negatives change to positive sign. 6 minus 4 is 2. So negative 5 plus 8 is 3 over 2. We just got the slope 3 over 2. Next step. When you have given 2 points, in order to calculate b by applying y equals mx plus b formula, you need to pick only one point of those two and apply x and y coordinate and substitute into the equation. So if I choose the first point, y will change to negative 8 equals to, the slope is 3 over 2, the one we just calculated, and then x is positive 4 plus b. So we're going to finish solving that equation for b. Negative 8 is equal to 3 over 2 times 4 will give us positive 6 plus b. Subtract 6 from both sides, so negative 14 equals b will be my answer for y-intercept. And there is one more step to finalize the equation. So y equals 3 over 2x minus 14, final solution to that problem. Alright, next example, number 4. An amusement park charges $6 for admission and $5 per ride. Write an equation in slope-intercept form that gives the cost in dollars as a function of the number of rides. So y equals mx plus b, that's what they're asking us to write. And remember, when we talk about gym membership or even going to the community center, there's always one-time fee that everybody's charging. So one-time fee in this case will be b. B will be just one-time fee. And if you look at up here, $6 is this one-time fee. So this will be plus 6. Then it says for admission and $5 per ride. So pretty much those $5 will be the slope, 5 times x, because we don't know how many rides, but as many rides you want to run, you always use this type of equation to solve the problem. So to know how much total you will be charged, you can always say, well, my total amount will be equal to $5 times, for example, 3 rides plus $6 admission fee, and that will be equal total of $21, for example. You don't need to do those calculations. The question is only how do you write this specific information in slope-intercept form. So this will be the final answer. Okay, moving forward, now we are going to take a look of learning target number 2. Write an equation in point slope form. So before I kind of focus on the examples, I just want to remind you, point slope form is y minus y1 equals to m times x minus x1. In order to use this point slope form, we need to know the slope and we need 1 point, so we can substitute x1 and y1 coordinates and finish the equation. Alright, number 1. Write an equation of the line contain 2 points, -3, 3, and 1 and 13. So we have the points, we're missing the slope here. So step 1 will be, let's go ahead and calculate the slope from the given points. And that will be y2 minus y1, so it will be 13 minus 3, over x2 minus x1, 1 minus -3. 13 minus 3 is 10, 1 minus -3 actually will be positive 4. If we simplify this, we get 5 over 2. Then you can choose either one of those 2 points to complete the equation. So if you choose point 1, you will get y minus 3, because y coordinate is 3, equals to, write down the slope, times x minus, and x coordinate is -3. So be careful with the negative coordinates. You always have a negative sign that comes from the original formula, and you gotta bring down the negative sign that comes from the coordinate, which will give you positive when you combine those two. So y minus 3 equals 5 over 2 times x plus 3, final answer. Well, if you, let's say you decide to go with the second point, then your choice or your answer of the equation will be y minus 13 equals to 5 over 2, so we're using the same exact slope, just different coordinates of the points, x minus 1. Either one of those 2 answers will be correct. It's just depend on which point you want to work with. And you know, the most important thing here is to remember that if you have to solve the equations for any one of the variables, you always will get with the same exact solution. The difference is that if you're choosing one point, you have different coordinates, but actually the solutions of the equations will be the same. So for the test day, I just need you to pick one point and write down one of the equations. You don't need to write both of them. Alright, next one, number 2. Write an equation and point slope form of the line shown. Okay, well, for point slope form, we need a point and we need slope. Let's start with the slope. So m will be equal to, and we're having these 2 points. So rise is 2 for 6 blocks and runs 3 blocks. Positive 6 over 3, which is 2. And then I can choose either one of those 2 points. Let's say I want to work with this, 1 and -3. Once I have written down my information, I can just go ahead and substitute everything what I know. I know x1, I know y1, I know the slope. My equation will be done quickly. So y minus y1 is -3 equals to, the slope is 2 times x minus x1 is 1. Almost there. Those 2 negatives needs to be combined. So we get y plus 3 is equal to 2 times x minus 1. Final answer for this example. Awesome. Again, just quick reminder, please make sure you pause the video if you need to. I'm going to example number 3. With example number 3, we have given information using linear function notation. But linear function notation could be easily rewritten down as coordinates of the points. So for the first one, x will be 2 and y will be -4. In the second point, I have x is -6 and y is 8. So this is so easy to convert. You just need to follow the order xy, xy. Write down the points, and then honestly, if you look at example number 1 with the 2 points, this is exactly what we need to do. We have to calculate the slope, and then we'll pick one of the 2 points to finish the equation. So let's go ahead and do that. the slope for this will be m is equal to 8 minus negative 4 over negative 6 minus 2. 8 minus negative 4 is 12 over negative 8. 12 over negative 8 will be negative 4 over, so if we simplify by, this will be negative 3 over 2. Yes, that will be the simplest form of the slope. Negative 3 over 2. Pick one of the point. Let's say this time we want to work with the second point, and I'm going to write y minus 8 is equal to negative 3 over 2 times x minus negative 6. Okay, one more step. Y minus 8 is equal to negative 3 over 2x plus 6. That will be my equation. And we are done with example number 3. Alright, example number 4, and that will be the last example of slope-intercept form. Now, what we have given? We have given slope-intercept form equation, and we're asked to graph this equation. Well, in order to graph equation, we need the point and the slope. So the slope from the equation will be number 2. And the point x1, y1 will be this. 1 will be x1, and the opposite, so remember this could be written as y minus negative 3. So pretty much our y1 coordinate is negative 3, not positive 3. It's always the opposite of what is given, and x1 will be just positive 1. So once you write down the exact coordinates of the point, you will then have to plot this point into the graph. So positive 1 for x, negative 3 for y, this will be the location of my first point, and then just applying the slope. And the slope is 2 over 1. So that will be the location of the second point. And you don't even need to go up 2 and 1 anymore. You can just connect those two and finish the graph. So that will be the final answer for question number 4 on the second learning target. Alright, next one is the last learning target, which is standard form. And standard form is this form: ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c could be numbers, integer numbers. What we need to know also is that a should always be a positive integer. So if you end up on the end to have negative number here, you gotta do something. You gotta divide by negative 1, maybe each one of the terms, or just multiply by negative 1 in order to make that positive number. This is the only requirement standard form is asking for. So let's go ahead and start solving. In order to get from ax plus by equals c, and if we have given point and a slope, we can definitely use point slope form and just go ahead and solve the problem. So let's rewrite this in point slope form. Step 1, y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So I'm going to substitute, and I will write y minus 6 is equal to 3 over 2 times x minus negative 2. So y minus 6 is equal to 3 over 2 x plus 2. So far so good. Now your job will be to apply distributive property. You gotta get rid of the parentheses. So we'll multiply those by distributive property, and we get y minus 6 is equal to 3 over 2x plus 3. 3 over 2 times 2 will give you 3. Always use the calculator. 3 ABC2 times 2 in order to get the answer. Alright, so now look at back. ax plus by equals c. This is the form we need, which means on the left side of the equation we want x and y term and only the number without variable to be on the right side. So first thing, I'm going to move this number to the right side because this needs to go on the right. So it'll be plus 6 plus 6. Those two cancel, and we have y is equal to 3 over 2x plus 9. Then we want to move x term to the left side of the equation. So my next step will be just to subtract minus 3 over 2x minus 3 over 2x on both sides. These two cancel, and now what we have left is on the left side of the equation will be minus 3 over 2x plus y equals 9. That will be the answer. And remember, we said we want to make sure that this number is a positive number. So in order to make this positive, you just need to change the sign in front of each one of those. So the actual, or a better format that you can write standard form is, if we change this to positive 3 over 2x, then every other term changes as well. So this will become negative y equals, and this will become negative 9. And that will be your final answer of this problem. Next one will be number 2. So number 2, they're asking us again to write standard form. Well, definitely you have given table, which means we have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different points. Those are the coordinates of the points. Well, you just need 2 points in order to get the slope, and then we're gonna write slope-intercept form. So let's begin with 2 points, maybe this one and this one. So I'm gonna write m is equal to, and we will apply the slope formula, which is y2 minus y1, so negative 4 minus negative 2 minus 4 over 3 minus 1. Negative 2 minus 4 will give us negative 6, and then 3 minus 1 will be 2. Negative 6 over 2 is just negative 3. So the slope here will be negative 3. Now, we're going to write y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 equation, and we will choose one of those 2 points to fill out x1 and y1. So I'm going to choose, let's say this point 1 and 4. So my equation now will be y minus y1, in this case is 4, equals to, the slope is negative 3, times x minus x1 of this exact point is number 1. Well, looks easy. We're going to apply distributive property here to simplify that. So y minus 4 is equal to, you can draw a line if you want to, negative 3 times x is negative 3x, negative 3 times negative 1 will be just positive 3. Moving numbers to the right, so it will be plus 4 plus 4. Those two cancel, y equals negative 3x plus 7. In final step, move x term to the left, so the opposite of negative 3x will be plus 3x plus 3x. Those two cancel, and we always start, standard form begins with x term, so I'm going to put 3x, positive 3x first, then we have y term, so will be plus y equals to number 7. Looks like there are no negative number for a, for x term, so that will be my final solution for number 2 problem on the third learning target. Next example, number 3. We're going to follow exactly the same steps as number 2, but this time instead of table they're giving us 2 points. So, well, step number 1, find the slope. M will be 1 minus negative 3 over 9 minus 12. 1 minus negative 3 is positive 4, 9 minus 12 is negative 3. So the slope here is 4 over negative 3. Pick one of the points, let's say 9 and 1, and substitute y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So y minus 1 will be equal to 4 over negative 3 x minus 9. We're solving this equation, apply distributive property. y minus 1 will be equal to negative 4 over 3x. Negative 4 over 3 times negative 9 will be plus 12. And if you wonder how I got 12, again, negative 4 ABC 3 times negative 9, and you will be able to get that on the calculator. Or the other way also is 4 divided by negative 3, then the answer times negative 9. So solving this equation, moving numbers around, first number goes to the right, so plus 1, plus 1. Those two cancel, y equals negative 4 over 3x plus 13. And we're moving x term now, so the opposite will be plus 4 over 3x plus 4 over 3x. Those two cancel. Starting with x term will be 4 over 3x plus y equals positive 13. Final answer for this example. So just make sure, by following my steps, you understand what exactly I'm substituting. And if you don't get it first time, replay the video and definitely let me know when you're practicing, so maybe I could be helpful one-on-one with questions as well. Last example of the review packet, number 4. Write an equation in standard form for the line below. Alright, so if you look at this problem, I would say this will go a little bit easier, and the reason for that is because from the graph we can write down the slope, and also we can get b, what b is equal to. And if we know m and b, we can use y equals mx plus b form. So let's follow the steps and I will explain what is going on here. The slope will be 2 up and then run 4. So 2 up and run 4. Positive slope 2 over 4, which will be 1/2. So the slope in this case is 1/2. B, y-intercept, is right here, and this is exactly negative 2. So let's go ahead and substitute in this equation m and b. Y equals 1/2 x minus 2. Well, look at this. I don't have any numbers, any distributive property, anything like that to work with and make my life complicated. I just need to move this x term to the left. So I'm going to subtract 1/2 x from both sides. Those two cancel, and I get negative 1/2 x plus y equals negative 2. Well, this is a negative number. We don't want to leave it like that because the standard form says so. So we said if this is negative, just change the sign of every single term to the opposite. So now we change this to positive 1/2 x. This becomes from positive negative y, and this from negative becomes positive 2. And that will be the final answer. Well, thank you for watching the video. I'm really hoping this will be a very, very good resource for you, and from now on we will have that opportunity. So have a great day to everyone, and we'll see you for questions. Thank you very much.